Stimuli acme. This very much plays into the Freud idea of sort of everything, phallic imagery, the idea that everything is sexual in the mind, like where it plays such a huge role in society. So this is taking it a little step further, right? The highest form of expression or value is sexual in nature, or hedonism. This is displayed by a fascination with sex, specifically, as the highest form of hedonism. You would have to grant that as a premise. Obviously, that could be disputed with substance or other forms of hedonism. Highest form of expression or value is hedonism. This is displayed by the fascination with sex, which is reflected in every area of life. And we see this, marketing is an easy one, but more broadly, this is the great example of when something good happens, you would say, like, sort of, it's a language issue, right? Language as proof. The F word, I guess can you actually, you can say the F word. I don't know if you can write the F word, if that's a rule, whatever, F word, etc. Or no, I'll just make it more broad. Profanity often has to do with sex. It can be used both as a exaltation of the highest positive or lowest negative outcome. So if something great happens, you could say that's fucking great, or something terrible, that's fucking horrible. There is still the sign of a sexual sort of, you're not thinking of it as you say it. People can't think of a higher way to express that than just say, oh, that's fucking awesome, or that's fucking terrible. Whether it's good or bad, it still applies. Marketing, basically in all things. Even the sort of social structure, family system based on specifying the stimuli acme. Oh, this opens up a whole nother topic too. The false absolute stimuli acme application to specify. This is to say, and then we open up the nearness postulate as well. This goes with appeal to ego and make absolute that which is not based on any particular standard, but rather, you could say the nearness postulate is one, to specify and make absolute, and the need for a false absolute in order to value something. This was also a term that's used a lot, just you need a false absolute to value it, which implies lacking intrinsic value, at least to specify. So as an example of the stimuli acme, like that which is nearest or convenient is valued above any standard. So for example, out of 8 billion people, one finds the absolute love, right, as according to stimuli acme standard, in a place that happens to be very close to them and by no set criteria. So this would be bypassing, that's also another term we'll look at, bypassing, I guess you could say critical thinking. And this often goes along with the false absolute. It isn't held accountable not because it is absolute, but because it isn't. And the act of doing so would invalidate it by any standard, or an admission that no standard is being used. Okay, so that's one. The stimuli acme is a huge one. Those three are very, very common. Nearness postulate, stimuli acme, and the machination process is a little ways up.